Well, good morning, Alpha Traders. Monday morning madness. Monday morning market madness. Good stuff. Let's check this out. Let's see what's happening. Where should we start off first? A little Bitcoin land? Yeah, why not? Had a nice little move off of the one of the support levels for the monthly volatility range overnight. I believe that is the S2. No, actually it's the S3. Yep, I forgot. So Bitcoin dumped out, right? Right now, got a kick right off of the S3 on that monthly volatility range support level. Pretty powerful. But obviously, we got back up above the S2 right here and the bottom side, right, of the weekly volatility range, the new one. So yeah, I'm gonna have to let this traditional market open up, see what's going on. Had a bull run last night, though. Did start a bull run last night. My lovely Max started his bull run to heaven. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Lost my friend. Let's see here.
For Max.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, what that little rise above the rise right after that initial pump we had earlier today on the monthly S2 or 3, whatever that was.
Yeah.
We had that extra rise. Very much. Very, very obviously that was a short-term little pop before the drop. It was just very obvious given the low variance and everything else that was happening at the time. And then, yeah. Nice little move there, Bitcoin.
Bear div. Of course it was. Yeah. Bear div on DLP, bear div on returns oscillator, bear div on Z-score. That's always a no-brainer on the Z-score. When you get a move above the confidence intervals and then the higher move doesn't get, I mean, didn't get by the 95% confidence interval, where the other one blasted. I mean, that's 99.9999999%, I'm sure. A big number.
Yeah.
And then, whoop, just rolls over. I dropped down through these time frames, probably get in earlier. Let's see, let's go to the 6 minute.
Yeah, the drop also was playing out bear div perfectly.
Yeah.
On the oscillator.
Here's the shorter bear div right here too, down on the 6. So remember on the 15, it was this whole series. Boom, on the 15 minute. So you drop down to the 6 minute. You get this little move right here that, I mean, look at the returns oscillator. The bands were tight. Not too big of a move, actually. But the returns oscillator rise, let's see, above the 3 SD band, no doubt. Pulls back, bounces off the 2 SD to the downside, and then gets a nice run up. But yeah, lower high on the returns oscillator. Whoop, straight down. Straight down, my friends. Let's see, the correlation broke too. Oh yeah, yes it did. Still, we'll take a look at that later. But yeah, interesting pre-market open move, of course. Yeah, I pulled on there and saw this little wick down to where top side of the 68.3 Laplace distribution range. We're right into the new daily range. Weekly, definitely got tested. Closed 2 15-minute candles below. Actually 3. 3 are above it. Sorry. Above the bottom. Yeah, my mind's a little fried this morning. It's okay, though. To be expected. Pretty wide weekly range after last week's volatility, right? Got a pretty wide weekly range. So this will be, you're going to want Bitcoin to get up here above the top of the weekly for sure. 18,319. Yeah, 18,316 area. If not, plus, let's go over here. Reverse mean of log returns. Okay, and this is on the weekly. So last week, right, we opened up the weekly candle above the reverse mean of log returns for the first time since we talked about this January of 22, almost a year ago. Okay, it was the last time we closed a weekly candle above the reverse mean of log returns. The pink line, this is the downside of the 95.4 Laplace distribution range. So that was right there too. Price action got sandwiched right in between there. That weekly current candle's 68.3 Laplace distribution range was right there as well. Hard rejection. Where did the weekly candle go down to? Look at the wick, right to the third standard deviation, normal distribution, then pulled back up above this 1 SD band, right? This is the reverse first standard deviation band on that RMLR. And already on this new weekly candle, we opened up, went down, tested the downside of the 68.3 Laplace distribution range, already pumped up to the 1 SD on the weekly. Yep, sure did. Already ranged between the downside of the 68.3 Laplace and the first standard deviation. Normal distribution to the top side. So interesting. And that would be... There was the weekly 68.3 Laplace. It just happened to be the monthly, the last support level of the monthly price action volatility range. And then it rips right back up to pretty much the S1. The first support level for the monthly volatility range. So this literally was the, whoa, geez, go back over here. First standard deviation on the weekly, sorry. So that was the first standard deviation on the weekly. That was the S2 of the monthly volatility range, and the 68.3 to the downside on that weekly candle was the S3 of the monthly price action volatility range. These are the types of things I look for. Distribution levels, like weekly distribution levels matching up with a monthly price action volatility range on a macro level. It's usually strong. Hell, we could all day just range in between this level, right? Have like a little $1,000 range. But you literally have the daily price action volatility range smack dab pretty much right in the middle. Let's see here. What else is sticking out? Over here, BTC on the daily. How'd this daily open up? Yeah. You can see you got the outlier right on the daily. Got this big move down from over 20, what was it, 21.2, 21.3. To the new all-time lows. Down there about 15.6. Literally dropped, what, a couple grand? The last, what, now it was around 17, I think, wasn't it? Previous low. Variance turns around, right? That variance turns around, so it's coming back down, positively correlated. You had one candle in there, but predominantly this thing's just going to float down. Just going to float down. Let's see. It's a little shaky. But yeah, contracting right now, positively correlated. Still down here in trend, but it's definitely turning back up, heading towards randomness. What's that?
I was saying also on the 4 hour, we got a nice mean reversion completion. On the RMLR, punched in a bit on the 3 RMLR. On the little pump this morning.
Right.
It completed, it hit the mean once it pumped this morning. Because the mean, it kept falling down and down and down. And it reverted properly from that punch down we had last Tuesday. Once all the stuff started going nuts Tuesday, Wednesday.
Sure. Yeah, and right here on the 4 hour, had this bull div. Boom. And this first pop, pullback, that lower low, just set up hidden bull.
Yep.
Set up the hidden bull. Now all the fishers are up on the 4 hour. Gee, I was listening to a Spaces last night, and talking about the whole FTX debacle and stuff. I mean, it's yeah, man. Don't know quite.
Big mess.
Dude, it's a massive big mess. There's a lot of shit tied up in this. Bottom line is, crypto's not gonna die.
No, it's definitely not.
And I'm the first one. I go straight to, what the fuck was SBF doing? Well, he was in bed with the government, number one. They were trying to do all this fucking crazy regulation shit. But it almost makes me feel like, you know, they wanted the market to crash. They've been trying to crash the crypto market. What a better way than to take down, than to make it look like, you know, they run all this fuckery through one of the biggest exchanges in crypto. I don't know, man. Something doesn't smell right. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Something's fucking fishy. This did not. Somebody's like, well, maybe he's just overwhelmed. Maybe he doesn't know what he's doing. You know, he just got over leveraged like people do. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I really don't think so. I think there's more to this, and we're gonna find out. We always
doesn't
do.
know what he's doing, maybe as a trader, but definitely knew. I mean, he was supposed to be a quant from before.
Yeah.
And he had all kinds of shady people around him, it turns out, at his company, at FTX and at Alameda, and all kinds of internecine relationships with people behind the scenes, So it's, like you said, something doesn't smell right, man. There's something fishy in Denmark, or whatever the expression is.
Yeah.
He's going to be the fallout boy. You know what I mean? They're using him as it, because there's something going on with Binance, I'm hearing too.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they're trying to, they're publicly putting on this thing where they want to make a recovery fund.
Yeah.
Between all the. But why are they doing that kind of stuff? Because they know they need the good image in order to stay in the good graces, to not have regulators come charging down on them, or to not have any kind of similar issues of their own. Maybe, who knows? We don't know if they're I mean, dude, they're lending out 125x to some people, to people.
Right.
So
where's that money coming from, right?
Yeah, I mean, they get a lot of it from wrecking traders, but
Right. My point being, though, is like I just posted there in that chat there, is that I heard that Frank, the SBF, was talking to regulators, and he was trying to throw Binance under the bus. And then CZ heard about it, went and sold off the FTT token, which exposed all this, obviously, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, what's crazy about this is it's not like, I mean, this little $600 million hack over the weekend, or whatever they say, that looks a little fishy, but apparently he wasn't like pocketing the money, so he was just making bad investments, right? That's all I'm hearing is what he did. I mean, obviously using other people's money.
Well, you're taking.
No, he's committing funds. I mean, that itself's going to get jail time.
He literally took user funds.
Yep.
Right, taking user funds. The word I just keep hearing is uncollateralized debt. So could this be the first pin to fall? Could this expose something in crypto that's just, and this is the problem, all this leverage, man.
Yep, exactly, agreed.
It's so fucking bad. I mean, we've been talking about it for years, how bad leverage is. Right. This is a great example. The whole fucking exchange is gone. One of the biggest ones has just crumbled.
That's why it's a good idea to trade spot on your cold wallet if you have a good cold wallet.
You're absolutely right. And you guys know this better than I. I mean, you guys trade in this shit, so I mean, like, are you surprised by it?
No, not at all.
Okay,
this is my first fucking rodeo. I've been in crypto since 16. Exactly. There's been a lot of shit.
What shenanigans in crypto exchange management? Oh, I'm so shocked. No, not at all.
Here's my question though. He didn't if they're saying he didn't pocket any of this money, or I mean, most of those morons didn't really. I mean, who knows what he got shoved aside? But my point being is that it's not like Madoff, where he was trying to take that money and utilize it himself, or lost it. It just
doesn't matter. He illegally used user funds. He used user funds without telling them that he was doing it. While he was saying, we definitely don't do that, and every dollar on our exchange is liquid.
Dude, he was the only one. He had the fucking keys, right? He had the keys to the wallets. He knew what was going on, and he was telling like finance the balance sheet was fine when it wasn't. And he was like moving shit around and taking funds and doing all kinds of just really illegal shit.
He allowed the CEO of Alameda to have a backdoor access, apparently, to do all these trades without alerting any of the holders that their money was being used.
I didn't know that. That I didn't read. So they were Alameda was back on,
and he had dated the CEO or something like that.
Yeah, that nerdy looking girl.
And they were trying to merge.
Looks like she's 12.
Company were dating.
They were trying to merge Alameda and FTX.
And she's the daughter of some professor who was the boss of Gary Gensler at MIT.
Oh my God, that's okay. I heard there's Gensler was involved because
every cycle.
Who did he meet with?
Every cycle, there's something that is supposedly going to kill off crypto. So this is just the one for this cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. This is the story. This is the headline for this cycle.
But FYI, I'll tell you how I'm playing this right now, because I'm telling you, we haven't even begun to see the ramifications of what just happened. I don't have any funds on any crypto exchanges right now. The crypto I do have is in a ledger, right? It's in a hardware wallet, and all of my funding right now is going to traditional markets in the Tasty Works. I'm like, I'm getting ready. I'm not gonna be trading crypto for a little while till this shakes out. Here's the thing though, it's like how many more people like me are. I never keep my crypto on exchanges, period. But this could create a problem where people are scared. They're gonna want to pull their funds off. They're gonna make a fucking bank run. They're going to try to pull all their funds off these crypto exchanges. We're going to find out real quick if the same problem's going on at these other exchanges. Because if they start halting deposits, there's going to be a fucking... Ugh.
Well, the irony of what you just said is, a couple of things that I watched over the weekend. The irony of what you just said is that's what they think going forward in time is what could happen to the U.S. dollar.
Oh, hell yeah.
As we all know, there's
a couple billion in crypto, even 10 billion in crypto is nothing compared to the many trillions that could be lost in the real economy.
That's my point. If everybody had to run to the bank tomorrow, forget about it. It's over.
Yeah.
I mean, this facade that we're living under, this, that's why I'm saying when I posted on the other thing with the Democrats more or less winning this, they're just going to continue to spend. This is an issue. At what point does it stop?
It doesn't even matter which government is in. Every government subject to fiat currency is going to keep printing money.
Yeah.
Period.
Well,
that's the only way to hold up the bubble.
So it's
welcome to fractional banking.
Yeah, well, that's my point.
Exactly.
At what point does it stop, or does it just go on forever?
Yeah, well, that's the
as
thing.
long as
as long as
the trillion,
good.
As long as the total worldwide dollar debt doesn't exceed more than even $1 quadrillion, then they're not really putting at risk the other 3 quadrillion that are out there as assets on debt. So it's not a good thing. But they have a lot of room left to run, and as long as the U.S. maintains its military might, it's kind of and plus on top of that, the entire European economy is based on the same concept.
Yeah.
And they're also doing the money printing thing, and they don't want their economies to tank. Yeah. So they're going to keep printing too, because they're using the same model, and they're all tied to the dollar. So as long as the dollar is still the oil currency and the military is still strong, expect this show to go on. And
I look at it as like a game of musical chairs, and as long as the music's playing, they can keep the shell game going. But at some point, someone's going to be left without a chair, and when that day happens, then the shit's going to hit the fan, and we're going to fuck. But meanwhile, they just keep fleecing us and devaluing the currency, so we're just the peasants that keep struggling. To make ends meet.
Great analysis. It's like a Titanic when the band just kept playing music even though they already hit something and felt something weird, and they're like, "Oh, what's that? Oh, it must be nothing. Keep playing." The next thing you know, the boat's sinking.
Yeah, it must be nothing. That's funny.
Yeah, right.
Like well, I mean, I'm not Mr. Pessimistic, but I mean, we got major problems, dude. I don't know. Maybe that's the bear.
Well, that's a no-brainer. Yeah, buddy. Major problems.
We got some fucking major
Anybody
problems.
who's been looking at this for years, right? Any of us who've been looking at this for years, we've all not like this is not really news to anyone.
No,
this is kind of like, oh, now it's happening. Like okay, we kind of knew this was going to happen. It didn't matter what the event was that triggered it, but it was obviously going to start happening more and more. And in the past year and a half, we've seen it happening more and more. And
this political circus is a joke. The political circus is a joke. It's like, like each side's blaming the other. It's like you're both printing money. Yeah. So it's fucking retarded. It's not the red team or the blue team causing the problems. It's the invisible team.
Yeah, it's the man behind the curtain, as always.
Which is all the richest families in the world, especially ones that own the Federal Reserve. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Federal Reserve is like Federal Express. It has nothing to do with our government. It's a private corporation. How do most people not even know that still?
Well, they call it like quasi-governmental agency.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
It's operated by the biggest banks in America and other groups too, as we've seen on the boards of the bank, the Fed of New York and other Feds around the country. It's just, it's a very large group at this point that was initially funded by a very small group of bankers, but has grown significantly over the years.
Yeah.
And they do control ultimately the printing of the money and the money supply, and that is ultimately what causes that thing called inflation. It's the increase in money supply.
And the media's been gaslighting people for decades, saying, "Oh, it's the government printing money." No, it's not. It's the bankers printing money, loaning it to governments at high interest rates. It's fucking horrible.
And and all the stories you hear about, it's from one side you'll hear it's paying people more causes inflation, or charging things more for products causes inflation. No, it's the injection of more money. It's the additional money supply that literally causes inflation. Period. But
anyway, SPY. Let's go over here because we're gonna get an open here in 9 minutes. Thursday, Friday. Right? Pretty much all last week, calling targets on SPY, hit every day. Pretty much hit every day. Friday, bammo. Literally, we were calling 400, right? Got up there really, really close. Got this macro resistance level on the monthly and weekly price action volatility range last week. So this is what I want to see. Where's a new weekly going to open up? And
it tapped right at that level, that 4 hour. Perfectly. Yeah. Perfectly, right there, 4 hour.
Pre-market's not down that much.
No, it's not. But it's just going between the daily right now, man. But the minis are. I don't know what the SP is. The minis are going back and forth between the daily.
And this was the reason. Why was I calling that number? Why was I calling that like 398, 400 number? Because, man, that's right where the 33 power mean was on the weekly. I was talking early in the week. It's a freaking magnet, right? We got up above this reverse mean. This thing's probably going to run up here and test it. It's going to drop a little bit, right? This is going to be so close to this new weekly candle closing above it. Because it's let's see, that 33 power mean's going to drop like right here. If the price action stays here, we're going to open up a little bit below it. So this will be
right. By the way, that's right where the lower time frame, like if you chunk down to like the 15 minute, it's also right there. The 30 length power means are like right like at 398 or something like that. So it's right on the nose in both of them. If it hits that, it'll kind of be a perfect place.
Right. Let this thing populate.
With that.
Big dog out there. Yeah, I let the other two dogs out. They're out there looking for him. Got it sad.
Did you have to put him down or just pass on his own?
Man, I'm sitting here last night and I had the TV up loud and I was looking at charts and I saw something moving out of the corner of my eye. He was literally on his back on the fucking love seat and he was like I don't know if he was having a seizure, but he was locked up. He couldn't breathe at all. His whole body was convulsing, and then he that started toning down, and then all four of his paws were just twitching, and I thought he was literally dying right there. 2 minutes later, head pops up. He gets off the love seat, goes over and starts sniffing the other dogs. But in my head, I've been waiting for a sign, and so I called my brother. My mom came and picked us up, and we went to the 24-hour vet clinic. Man, it was fucking sad because at that point, he already had it, but he like coughed up all this fluid. There was a bunch of fluid in his lungs. He was all wet on his neck, and so I cleaned him up. But he's acting like he didn't want to go, but we had to talk and stuff, and it's just like it's time. He's tired, man. He's fighting that shit for a year. So yeah, that's how my night went. Couldn't believe it.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Just awful, dude.
Better place, brother, man. I always think about it like that, man.
Yeah.
Better place.
He is, for sure. He's such a sweet boy. Such a sweet boy. But yeah. Now I got to deal with the other dogs. Especially his sister. They've never been apart. She's sad. She's real sad. She knows. She knows he's gone. But is what it is. So let's see here.
Yeah, man.
So there's the 4 hour. But yeah, it's all good, man.
Why is mine so different than yours? Shit.
Yeah, so the 4 hour, that's actually 95.4 Laplace is the 4 hour reverse mean now, down around 390. I'll be surprised we see that action. Oh, 390, huh? But that's the thing. This is tricky, man. This is really tricky. So what am I looking to do? Like right now, if I was going to go in here and trade these markets, definitely low time frames like we talk about. But it's like, there's so much uncertainty across the board. I don't care what you're trading. It's like, I'm looking for some defined risk option strategies, right? That's what I'm looking for. Just to be careful, because this is a time where I have a feeling people's accounts are going to be getting wrecked. Definitely be careful trading the news. They could run this all over the place, getting people confused.
They expanded the options too this week. Did you see that? Starts on the 16th. So now they're going to have, I think they're going to have weeklies that expire 3 times a week now instead of once.
Wow.
So just take a look. There's some news when you go to Tastyworks. Just take a look on it. There's new added expiration dates. A lot of them.
I did see all those.
Splitters.
I saw this last night. Yeah.
Yeah, for the Qs, the SPYs. I don't know what else. I know the Qs and the SPYs. Maybe the IWM, which I think is, what is that, the Russell?
Mm-hmm. That's the Russell.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't really look at that one.
I don't either, but I'll tell you what, those guys at Tastyworks sure do.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. But apparently, like, so these that's where all the options are. It just gives you more way to fucking lose money or make money.
Yeah. Pretty much, right?
More money for their market makers, man. That's all.
There's the Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. But back to where you at? Getting this open real quick here. They're barking, looking for his friend. Oh, Daisy. Sorry. Sidetrack. Oh boy, let's go over here. Waiting for this open. We are starting to drop though. Definitely pre-market dropping slowly here, coming into the open. New daily range, definitely above it. New daily is going to be like right around here, 398, 397. Talking about the like center. So I'll get a quick test probably. But the new weekly range, right? That's what we want to kind of try to track down here to see where this baby's going to be at. Let's see. Okay, here we are. It's going to be up here, man. Probably 390-ish, I would imagine. Let's see how that plays out. Let's see how that plays out. So yeah, the new daily somewhere up here around 398. New weekly about 390. Still though, right? Here's the monthly range. So the weekly is going to climb up a little bit, which I'm SPY set up. SPY set up. So that being said, perfect time to run it down. That could easily happen. Easily happen. Futures aren't really down too much, are they? Oil's down, no. That's good. Metal's down. VIX climbing though. Dixie's climbing. Hold on.
Alright. Yep, a little rise on Dixie.
Yeah. Yep.
0.5% on the day so far.
And let's see where Dixie's weekly's at. Boom. I mean, that's strong right there. So that's the bottom of the weekly range, top of the daily range right here. I mean, look at the rejection overnight. Thing climbed up, boom, 1 SD. Didn't close a 15-minute candle above the first standard deviation. Got a wick right to the monthly. Is that the S2? Come on. Where the heck
Are we
is
live?
it?
Has the bell gone?
Oh yeah, we live.
Yeah, we're live, man.
Cool.
That's the S3. That's the S3 down there. Yeah.
Yeah, we're open now.
Oh, well, hello. Yeah, let me get back over here. Let's see where that baby went.
Minis are right at the bottom of the daily.
And, okay, so top of the dailies at about 398. Centers 397. Now, these weeklies, where are you, baby? Yep. So the center, 390. Imagine that. Bilbo nailed it again. It's all good. You can tell. When you know what you're looking at, it's easy. Let me see here. Bottom, 386. Top is right at the daily, 68.3 Laplace to the downside, 394.5 area.
390, yeah, I see it. Okay.
Yep. Boom, right there, the center. Boing! 390.45 or 390.49. And above it. So, I mean, you get SPY, come down here and test this 394.5 level. You got that top of the weekly, bottom side of the 68.3 on the daily, and the daily, which is a tight range, by the way, daily first support level of that volatility range as well. Yeah, I'm not, do I think these markets still got some pain coming? Yeah, but I don't know if it's yet. Just, man, too much fuckery out here to be had. I'm not going to make it easy on anybody. So let's see. Let's go back on to SPY's weekly. See how this... Oh, opening up right at it. Goodness gracious. So that RMLR dropped to 400.06. We're just a little bit below it. Or wait a minute. Nope, take that back. We are above it. We're above it. It's at 396.93. Weekly candle opened up here around 397.31. So we're above. We definitely are above that that 33 power mean. We are above it, which last week closed right at it. It's like, look out. See something. Let's go over here. Since we did get the open, let's see what these charts look like. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, market open. Yeah, 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, and this variance coming
the
down.
Bottom of the daily. So.
Well, definitely bear a div on the 4 hour. But that 4 hour, that move on Friday, I mean, outlier to the top side, variance comes back down, negatively correlated. So yeah, just staying up there. Just staying up there. About the daily.
Meanwhile, a little bit of bull div on the lower time frame, but you know, it'll be short lived probably. The 4 hour especially is coming down hard.
In the day, if we get volatility, the volatility stays high right now. I mean, this thing it doesn't look too bad actually. I mean, the Fishers look great, and there's no bear div on the returns oscillator. Z score is pretty high, but just like that, is there? Not really. No bear div on the Z score either. So this is definitely a interesting play. Volatility's high on that daily too. And with that range, let me go back over here. I mean, kind of a. Let's see what percentage that range is.
It's getting stuck in between its old weekly mean and its new weekly mean.
Oh, that's where it likes it, huh? Yeah, 2% weekly range. I mean,
yeah, it's right on the board.
Well,
sorry, Bobo, can I please ask, what are these yellow little hashes on your screen? I see the green one, and then there's the yellow one.
Yellow little hashes.
Yeah, they're like plus signs.
Plus sign?
Oh, that's monthly.
Monthly. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Monthly.
Here's the center of the monthly range right here, down at 374.61. Top side was up there at 380. You can see, I mean,
No,
midweek.
The plus sign, the bigger one.
Huh?
Just above this, the other plus signs, just above it. Yeah, the down one, yellow.
Yellow right here. Yeah,
yellow plus sign.
Yeah, that's the center of the monthly range.
One up, with the yellow line or white line above.
Like right.
It's white.
Which one? Right here? The circles?
It's a plus sign. It's like
one's weekly, one's monthly center, right?
Yeah, the crosses are all monthly levels. The weekly are circles.
Yeah.
So this was yet last week's weekly inside the top of the monthly. Here's the bottom of the monthly. Center. Top. Now the new weekly moved up a bunch. Not a bunch, but it's up here. Like it. Center at 390 area.
Yeah, and the daily also.
And actually just sent a wick right up into the daily, that tight daily, and coming back down. But yeah, it's right in between the daily and the top of the weekly. So we could bounce around in here a little bit. We're going to trend today? I don't know. It is a tight daily. We could trend. I think it wouldn't surprise me at all to see this thing drop down to the end of the meat of the weekly and then fucking do what it's doing. Pump right back up.
Yeah.
Dude, MicroStrategy's down 100 points in a week. I didn't know that. Wow. We were talking about that last week.
Yeah, really.
It's down 100 points in 1 week. Basically.
If they want to do a cheap buyback, I guess now's the time.
Right.
What's Coin at? What's Coin doing?
Coinbase.
I think Coinbase might do well.
Yeah, they're
stock
down 7%.
As a crypto stock, I think Coin might do well just because of the way that their CEO, whatever Armstrong, is presenting himself in the manner of all this disruption. He's just like, we're regulated. Those guys are idiots. They should be keeping to the standard. And he just walks away. And it's the right thing because you pay for that, unfortunately, with Coinbase, if you do trade there. But that is what you pay for. You pay for the fact that you can get your fucking money back. So I think that's...
it's regulation. It's a regulated exchange. For sure.
I think Coin is going to be the strongest out of all crypto companies just because it's listed.
There's other crypto companies that are listed, right? But they're not all doing as well because they're not necessarily...
Yeah. But they
like presented in that same way.
Oh, you're talking about that white.
BitTrue goes and says, look at our books, everything's 1-to-1. People give a shit when they...
Crypto.com.
Coinbase goes.
Like Crypto.com also has been, people are saying, there may be, I'm not saying.
They halted withdrawals for a little while, but then they topped off their ETH. They put like 10,000 ETH into the hot wallet. Everybody was like, oh shit, what's going on? Then they're like, well, they just topped it off again. It's just like, Before I forget though, I just saw Warlord's message. You're talking the white cross line too. So the white and the blue, those are Laplace and normal distribution daily levels.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So like today we get this open, right? Here's this white cross and this white cross. This is the daily 68.3. Then that blue cross right there is the first standard deviation normal, second standard deviation normal, third standard deviation normal.
So easy. Why is so easy?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
White distribution levels matter, man.
Can I ask, do you think like where those dots are could be the intraday play? Like those are the daily pivots. Like I'm just saying the first white crosses. You talk like on a shit point, for example, like it wants to go to one of those 2 points in the day, and then if the daily mean is either which side of it, obviously that's where you can put your bias. If that makes sense.
Is this guy dicking with my electric out here? If I go down, you'll know why. There's somebody here for, I don't know, they're the neighbor's electric. I don't know what's going on. They were messing with mine, running.
What was that question, African? You're asking what is the intraday level range, like for SPY?
No, I was saying to get a full weighting, like just to look at it before looking at all the indicators, you go find your daily mean, you see where your daily mean is, and then where your daily VRE mean is, how the fuck do I put this? Wherever that white plus sign is, whichever side it is closer to the daily mean is the place that I would look to wait where it wants to go. So if it's like, I don't know where the daily mean is here, but it looks like it could be right underneath the plus sign at the top. So I'm going to say, obviously, if it is, the daily mean is up there, whatever it is.
Or if you put
then
it
it wants to go play. It will go play there, and then the wick off top could be that daily plus sign, which is an intraday pivot.
No, not well. This white cross, this is the bottom side of the 68.3 Laplace. And that's the top side of the 68.3 Laplace, which you're looking at right here. Boom, top, bottom, the pink dots. And we're literally right at about the mean of Laplace distribution right now on the daily. But
and then our daily PRE mean, is it closer to the one that's at the top, or is it closer to the one at the bottom?
It's fucking, I'm telling, let's see. The center's 397. Dude, I mean, it's just a little bit probably closer to the top. What the hell is going on?
Okay. I'll see if I can set that up. I'm writing it down.
Yeah, so, it should be on your PRE chart, obviously, with the daily. So,
but I would definitely look for like 15-minute candles closing above or below the daily volatility range, which is tight. Only about, I mean, it's like a 1.3 or something. But the 68.3 Laplace, if this thing's gonna trend one way or another, that's what I'd be looking for. See what side of that 68.3 Laplace, like these 15-minute candles close. Problem is the top side, we got this monthly level right here. That could still be some strong resistance for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally right in the middle of that range, of the daily range right now.
Yeah.
Which, like you said, is pretty tight at about a point. It's very small. So, expect some trending moves. And again, that bull div playing out on one of the returns oscillators at the longer length could easily be a bit of a short-lived move. Let's see if the direction predictor on the old RMLRs decide, no, in fact, we're selling this puppy. And then it'll fall below. Could be.
Yeah, look at SPY on the 33-minute. I mean, we had that big variance move pre-market, and then, boom, just variance came back down, negatively correlated. These little outliers of the top side. Now variance is turning up. But look at the returns oscillator. That's on the 33. A lot of bear div. All the fishes are down. The volatility is expanding, negatively correlated. So pre-market for sure down a little bit. Just a little bit. What? 1.5 points. 1.5 about.
Bouncing right off of an RWT also on the 15-minute. So this is a nice place for it to make a move from. If it falls below it, it'll also be below the daily range, at which point it'll be below the mean, at which point that should be a generally good direction. Plus you've got, on that lower time frame, you've got the entropy in random mode with the negative correlation, although it's weakening. And, there's a good read. I mean, the ALRs are slightly, they're basically flat at the moment. So, good place to look for movement, that's for sure, right around here. Plus, it's market open. We always know that the first hour, the lead up into market open and the first hour trading is, tends to have a lot of interesting action whenever there's going to be a good day, one way or the other. So, that would definitely be eyes on at the moment.
Yeah. Geez, while you were talking, my mind wandered off.
That's all right. We got the VIX. Have we looked at the VIX yet today? I don't think so yet, right?
Yeah, it's up. It's definitely up 4.3%. Dixie's up a little. They do believe. That's what I was doing. Then the market opened and I stopped. This rejection here, though, interesting. But look, I mean, we're bouncing off the top side of the 68.3 Laplace.
Yeah, that's Dixie. I was looking at VIX.
Right.
Yeah, I think you looked at. Yeah. But VIX is up. Yeah.
Yeah.
A good chunk, 4.5%. As you said, 4.25% already.
wanted to check out the JIX. I want to see where the new where that new weekly was, and that was the bottom. It's a big range too. This thing could just range down here this week, below the weekly. If it gets up in here, I'll tell you, man. Dixie makes a run here, starts cruising up into this weekly volatility range, and finds a little gets some legs. These markets.
I know we opened up with Bitcoin and we moved on from it since then, but it is interesting to note the last week, I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, it was Wednesday and Thursday, Bitcoin dropped down and hit the 3 RMLR down. So, and since then it has been basically not hitting it, and this is now the 4th day, and even though it fell for the last few days and then, had that little minor bounce today and is kind of one of those candles with long wicks on both ends at the moment, it's technically a mean reversion. So keep that in mind on the daily.
Yeah.
Anyway, didn't mean to distract, but just to say things are gonna get wacky.
Wacky.
A lot of people gonna get fooled.
There's the vol of all below the center of the weekly.
Yeah, look at
huh. Yeah, I mean, geez.
Yeah. Up from last week.
Louise. 100. What am I on here? UTC minus 5. 46. Okay.
I mean, what did Bitcoin do? It fell down. And what did VIX do? It went up. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. Anything happening here? Tesla down right out of the gate. Pop that bubble. Coin, yep, down 8. There's Coinbase. Let's see. No, we were talking about it. I just didn't have a chance to flip. So yeah, here's the daily. Wow. It's Coinbase overnight. Literally. Oh wait, oh hell, that was Friday. Jesus. On Friday, did a 2SD move. I didn't notice that. Very, very, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, 2SD. 2SD.
This is something that I'd really like to figure out. Are the customers' tokens, like the amount of liquidity Coinbase holds, does that somehow end up on their balance sheet, which then reflects their stock price? Because if you have a whole bunch of people obviously sending to Coinbase, because they know Coinbase isn't going to fuck them, but they have enough time to put it on the ledger, then all those coins coming in can cause this pull-up naturally, because it's on a balance sheet that they went from 100 Ethereum on their books to 1,000, right? And then now they go put them on a hardware wallet, and then it gets pulled off the exchange, and now you price that in.
No, but they don't own all the coins on their exchange. They only earn whatever fees they get from trading fees. And whatever coins are on their exchange are only held, as assets in case of needing to pay off debts. Right? So they can't really. I mean, I don't know what the exact rules are for that company. It is regulated, so who knows? But I'm sure you can look that up. Actually, it's a good question. But they don't own all the coins, right? In theory, I mean, yes, they are on their exchange, and yes, FTX showed that they can mismanage funds, but when you're fully regulated, it's probably a little bit harder to do that, right? Not necessarily, as we know, banks have done it, but maybe it's a little harder for Coinbase because, after all, blockchain is transparent enough, and the regulators certainly know what wallets belong to Coinbase.
No, for sure. And then the other question would be, what do you think of this? So given that they're the safest option, I don't know. So everyone goes and sends their money there. Now they have a lot of risk because they have to make sure that all those coins don't get stolen. So now it becomes a cost to them. So now is that a factor that you have to factor in for sure? So these crypto companies, they get very interesting in times like these. We've got to figure out how they balance their books so that we know what to expect when there's a rush on.
Well,
That's why
the
they're
whole
all. That's why the big ones are, like CZ and stuff, are all saying, transparency now and all
Yeah.
this stuff. Which, sure, they're all saying that, but let's see them when they're all actually, when they all actually have to swim naked. Let's see who actually does it.
See who doesn't have a Chinese stamp.
Like companies, what makes stock price go up or down? It's the trading on the market, and that's driven by the volatility. And what drives a lot of the volatility, other than the math, which is obviously the thing that drives it, but when it comes to retail investments and even financial investments that aren't running high frequency trading algos and such, they're doing things like, if they're doing long-term investing, so they're analyzing things like news and fundamentals and things like that, right? So they're looking at price to earnings ratio, they're looking at the profitability of the company, they're looking at cost cutting, they're looking at more efficient management every year and more sales and more revenues. And if those business drivers and other key performance indicators measure up, then great, you've got good earnings reports, you've got, if you're profitable, great, as long as you show sustained profitability, that's usually good for the stock price. But if you're not profitable, then heads will roll, and in bear markets, it's a lot easier for relatively new companies, even if they're profitable, to suddenly lose that profitability, because if their customers panic and go elsewhere for fear or other reasons, that isn't good for them. And if people, like Bilbo said earlier in the stream, if everybody suddenly does a bank run on these exchanges, how many of them actually have one-to-one liquidity for all the money that supposedly is on their exchanges?
The ones that are registered in a first world. So the USA guys will have their one-to-one. The British companies will have their one-to-one. Like registered in London.
I don't know if all the US guys will have one-to-one. If they're regulated, guess what? As far as we know, they might have fractional reserve ability.
No, African is right on that. As a matter of fact, Armstrong was on a podcast yesterday talking about the very fact that, they are required and have to have one-to-one. Now, whether or not that's a lie, to your point, Yasha, I don't know, but they have said and stated that they have to have a one-to-one for customer accounts. Anything that they make, any other type of monies that they make, they can leverage to the hilt. Who cares? But in terms of customers, they got to have one-to-one.
Yeah, but they're supposed to, but that doesn't mean they necessarily do. And maybe there's a loophole.
Yeah, of course.
And maybe there's loopholes that let them, they might be able to play those loopholes, but we don't know.
Check this
right?
out. No.
Behind
Check
the
this
veil.
out. Yeah. Check. So I've done this walk through the central bank, right? And what it is they register your company as a money transfer business. And now to facilitate the money transfer business, you have to have a certain size float. So they've allocated for all your customers that are on your network, you have to have their one-to-one float. You can't use this imaginary money as your own, what we call mobile money, because it's not your money, it's your customer's money. So that's what they do for one-to-one, right? Is he's registered a business that they have niched him into a little raft. Anyone can do it in any country. You got to register it as a money transfer business, and you get taxed differently. First off, you're not going to be taxed because your client's sending $1,000. You're going to be taxed on the money you would make off of that $1,000. Right. That's why it has to be registered like that. And now because of that, the tax man, and it's normal, even a bank will have to, when they send money, they pretty much have to show their books like this anyway. So those guys, they're looking into it. And that's any company that's been, any business that's been happening in America for a very long time. They all meet those requirements.
But commercial banks are not required to have one-to-one. In fact, they're not even required to have 1-to-10. And in fact, many of them do 1-to-100.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's
if you're FTX, you think you can dip into the customers and do something with it quick, and then hopefully get it back in time. And that backfired.
Yeah, I mean, if he'd been upfront about it and said, we do this from the start before anybody signed up, okay, it would have been customers' choices whether or not to sell to an exchange that does shady, fractional reserve lending, basically. but he didn't. He
well, no, but he couldn't. He could never say that. He could never even come out and say that because they would shut him down because legally he has to have 1-to-1 for customers.
But is that internationally? I don't know. I just know here in the U.S. it is.
No, I'm just talking U.S. It's only U.S.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know, sure, that's the rules, but A, the rules don't always get followed, and B, there's probably other rules. You know, I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not an expert in that area.
Yeah.
But I don't trust what comes out of the mouths of regulated bankers, generally speaking, unless it's been fully vetted. You know, not that they're all dishonest, but there sure have been a bunch of notable dishonest bankers in the world.
Yeah. You see, they
they
take customer funds.
The rules are there to be broken, you know. So
the bankers take their customer funds.
Also, I don't fully trust whatever they say. So
invest
even if they
in
say
equities.
We require these banks to have 1-to-1. That doesn't necessarily mean there's proper full oversight all the time. It just means that there's more oversight on the regulated ones than the not regulated ones, and therefore
it's a stop sign. You know, whether you obey a stop sign or not. You know, that's up to you. But if you do get caught, you're going to get smacked.
Exactly. Exactly. Very well. Yes.
I'd like to smack him.
Oh yeah, there's about 1 million people that want to smack.
Oh yeah.
Get in line, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Come here, SBF.
Hopefully I can get my 1 or 2 XRP back there. This exchange.
Your 1 or 2 XRP.
I think.
Yeah.
So we got 60 cents there.
I think you can. I think you have to leave 10 in a wallet. No, you have to leave 10 in a wallet. You can't move 10 off.
You buy. How it works? You will buy XRP on the exchange, and then out of the first 10 you bought, they'll make the wallet address. And then
that's what I'm saying. If the wallet costs you 10, you can't take those last 10 off. It's always in there. Like that's the price of the wallet.
I can. You can get all your XRP addresses back for money. You don't have to use FTX. I'll look into it. I forgot. So that's sort of why I thought.
I think as long as the wallet is open, they keep the maybe on different exchanges, different rules. Obviously, like I never used FTX. But like I know on some wallets you can't close the XRP wallet, and they just keep it in permanence on their wallet, basically.
You'll be able to do it ledger side. That's the power of XRP. So you'll do it through Zoom, or you'll do it through Ripple, or there'll be a portal or some shit that they can just send you.
That's true. There are ways to do that. I do remember moving from, I think it was Toast Wallet, but even there, I think I had to leave like 22 XRP or something years ago.
Yeah, you can claim that wallet address back, and you'll get those coins back.
Never had an XRP wallet.
Set up right. Get one. It's cheap.
It's cheap.
Right? It's the goods, man.
Bump Africans' bags.
Bump them dollars. Don't fuck the market right now.
Bump them bags.
Some garlic bread.
Solana's up 7.5% today. Had a nice pump. 1 SD move. Beautiful. Pulling back. Testing the top of the daily range.
Look at that, $14 and change. Come on.
That's a morning traffic report to you, MJ.
MJ's probably in a conference call or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was on a couple of them. As a matter of fact, I got to get on one here in a minute. But did you see the post the chart I put in there?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy good how these volatility levels work.
Huh.
You know, like people think that we draw these lines. We don't draw these lines. They're calculated lines that get populated.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh look, the man put the nice cross line right on top of his. Oh, why is your trend line a cross line, sir? It's not a trend line. Distribution level, or a price action volatility range. It's a figment of your imagination. It's fairy dust.
Projection bosses. And those volatility levels.
It's fairy dust. There's my sweet baby. Hi, girl. Jeez.
On the daily, from the if you look at the little pump candle we had on November 22nd. Oh, you're on Solana. No, never mind. I was looking at Bitcoin. Never mind. But we're down. We hit near the third Laplace down on the daily. Very nice. with that WikiWiki.
Yeah.
That's Solana, man. Solana prices are looking good, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm not complaining about $14 Solana.
Dude, Solana, yeah, because Solana's a great blockchain. These devs are cranking. The Solana devs and the founders of Wagme Beach, Catalina Whale Mixer, they are definitely connected. Talk all the time. Both those teams are grinding, building. So
yeah,
that's who you want to invest in, builders, man. Because I'll tell you what, we come out of this fucking bear market. Who knows where it's going to go either? There's going to be a lot of death. There's going to be a lot of stuff that doesn't come back.
Yeah, and it's always good because it's all these other shit coins that just have this fucking stupid. Sorry that I keep saying have the stupid liquidity in it.
Yeah.
And now just start sucking that up. So it'll be like, I'm not going to say SHIB is a shit coin, but the weakest ones fall first.
Yeah.
So you start draining out of there. That's what I do. I'll be like, okay, the whole market's strong. Who's next? As much as SHIB can do, like 100%. But where do I want to start putting my money in volatile situations?
Right.
Start moving it into other coins because you're like, screw it. It's I don't know this. If anyone is looking to stack in this opportunity, I believe it's go back to your 2017 mindset. Don't fuck around. Pick good coins. Stack a big ass bag across like 3 or 4, and once you get comfortable with that, you move on.
Yeah, man.
And then don't spread yourself too thin as well, because then you're only going to get like a couple million SHIB, a couple thousand Doge, or whatever it is, and it's not going to do anything for you because they all pump at different times in the bull market. So you just get screwed. You're like, then you sell your Doge for XRP, and Doge rips, and XRP only does 3%, and you're like, So you just make your bags fat, and then you go collect on the gambles. That's how I'm going to go about it, at least.
Right. Just taking a look at Solana here.
Storage and shipping stocks, not financial advice. But the more stuff people buy and the more they ship it instead of buy it in stores, you're going to need storage space. And you're going to need ways to get things from point A to point B, whether there's trucks, trains, boats, or airplanes. Not financial advice. And also, in bear markets, when it comes to stocks, you know what does really well? Vices. Things like cigarettes, tobacco, alcohol, cannabis, sex stuff, adult entertainment, whatever. Those things just traditionally do well in bear markets. All the safe, the comfort stocks and the vice stocks. And
lifestyle.
Also do well.
So I'm taking a look at Solana on the weekly with the reverse mean of log returns. We've got the 33 power mean up here on this Solana dump. And I'm going to reiterate, Solana's not the problem. Unfortunately, that dumbass had a lot of Solana. So in I don't know if we've seen the final ramifications of what's going to happen here. But high probability when you hit a 2 SD band on the reverse mean of log returns that you're going to have mean reversion. Thing is, that big dump, look at the future reverse mean of log returns. So mean reversion next week's going to be a no-brainer. We're going to run right into it. But do we pump? You can see already on this fresh week, right? Solana opens up, dumps down, bottom side of the 68.3 Laplace, taps the 2 SD band again. Pumps overnight right to the first standard deviation, normal distribution on the weekly candle. So you look up here, this was the first standard deviation on the daily candle, right? So both right there. Kind of rejected. Down here, finding support though on the top of the daily range. But this will be that's what we really need to do. Let me get over here real quick. Get off traditionals. Let's go on to the crypto. Hello, crypto. Let's see here. 90-minute. Go up here on the weekly real quick. And here's what I'm looking at. Usually when you get a volatility expansion like this, I'm going to be watching this correlation. If the correlation doesn't break positive and stays negative, volatility is 100%. When you get volatility expansion, volatility is going to contract. Right? Doesn't have to immediately, but at some point, if you stay negatively correlated, you start getting contracting volatility. This Solana data set will start floating up following the returns. Let's see. Now, Z-score, right? Z-score on Solana. There is a lot of bull div. Now, when I say I'm talking about from the all-time high, right? From the all-time high. All lower lows, higher lows. Climbing out. Look how long it took. This whole time, Solana was having trouble getting out of these lower confidence intervals. Finally climbed out during this, slight upward move. More of a float. But bounced right off got below the 90% confidence interval. Not quite to the 95. This is all bull div. We're talking Z-score, right? Z-score of log returns. So there is literally bull divergence between the Solana data set and the Z-score of log returns of said data set. So yeah, interesting, man. It's the only thing that does have the div. I mean, I'll take that back. There's some on the DLP. It's not a lot though, right? Not a lot. Depends on what happens here. So then, boom, just dropped down. What's a 3-day looking like? Look at that big outlier. And here's another thing. We know when these Z-scores get to these levels, you're usually going to work your side back up to the top. But you could have like a bearish reset between the log returns and the data set. There's no doubt about it. Look at the trend. Trend's still hard on entropy. Really hard. But right here, you're getting a slow contraction. Negatively correlated. All the fissures are down, though. But you're definitely building some bull div on the DLP. That's on the 3-day. What's a 2-day look like? 2-day, you got 3 2-day candles of bull div on the DLP. The returns oscillator on that move to the downside, you know what, that negative correlation is starting to drop. This return oscillator going up. That's what I talk about. When I'm talking about a bearish reset, look at the returns oscillator. Returns going up. Look at the data set, just falling. And you can see when it did start coming down, right, off of what? Bear div. Between returns and price action 2-day, bam, you're getting some nice wicks down here. Because the returns oscillator did turn up, positively correlated to the price action. But even on the 2-day, strong entropy trending. But the volatility is contracting, negatively correlated. Daily. Yeah, we already talked about this. Got this big outlier on the daily. Solana just rips to the downside. Variance turns down, positively correlated. First, it was negatively correlated. Hence, look at the candle. Right? When you get variance coming down negatively correlated, you're going to get an up move. It's pretty powerful too. Then, correlation broke. Positively correlated. Floating right back down. But building the... let me reset this price scale. There we go. Building bull div. Climbing out of these confidence intervals. One fissure's up on the daily. You got bull div on the DLP. The trend. So here's the daily, right? The trend looks strong on the 2-day, 3-day. Trend is turning up here, heading back into randomness. It got back up above the second standard deviation band. And contracting volatility, right? Correlation broke negative on this open. So yeah. Got a little fat doji right now cooking on this daily candle. And we already looked on the VRE what it did and the weekly, right? The weekly already ranged in between the bottom side of the 68.3 and the top side first standard deviation normal distribution. Let me see here. So it's a daily. Now let's drop in these intraday time frames on Solana. Let's see what's cooking here. Oh boy. So what do we got building here on the Z-score log returns? In the data set of Solana. Hidden bear div. Okay. Hidden bear div on returns oscillator. Volatility is expanding. Positively correlated. So 4 hour. I mean, we had this move above the confidence intervals. You're usually going to pull back down, in my opinion, right? You got the returns oscillator rising the whole time. This is floating down. Then it sets up what? Hidden bear. Above these confidence intervals, I might add. So this could be just a bearish reset, and this thing's going to dump out. Give me cheap salamis, man. Whatever. Solana's not the problem, right? We know that. Solana's not the problem. It's this little bit of fuckery by SBF. Yeah, fuckery. He knew exactly what he was doing. We can say, oh, maybe he just did this, or maybe he just did that. He knew exactly what he was doing. It's not that dumb. don't see anybody can be that dumb. It was a criminal activity. You don't take users' funds.
You don't move $10 billion over a long period of time by accident. And also then also apologize by saying I messed up, I should have done that. It's like, yeah, you obviously knew.
Here, I'm gonna mute, dude. And yeah, I see we got a new, I see you watching. Platypus, I just had to mute you. You had some background noise. Just, if you hover over Alpha Voice, you'll see the little chat. Open the chat, and if you want to speak or something, just type a message in the Alpha Voice chat right there. Boom, we'll unmute you. We just had a little bit of, I don't know, there was some background noise. Because everybody's free to speak, ask questions, do whatever they want. We're not your regular platform. We're here to help retail traders learn how to trade volatility, right? There's other people out there telling people volatility is bad. Be careful. Don't trade volatility. That's exactly when you want to be trading these markets, is when they're highly volatile. Why are they highly volatile? Because the algorithms are, right? They're juiced up. They're just reaping profits off of retail traders and lower sophisticated algorithms, right? Some of these big firms, these algos aren't cheap, all right? These algos aren't cheap to build. Smart robots, smart code, and it's just going to continue to do what they do. So when we build indicators, they're giving you insight into what the algorithms are doing. That allows you to trade that volatility. Right? When you can't trade volatility when you're using lagging indicators. Price action inherently is lagging. Most new traders, a lot of old traders don't even realize that, right? Because they don't understand that price action data sets are following the returns, right? So if you're using indicators built on the strength of price action, you're behind the 8 ball already, right? You're already behind the 8 ball. You need to build indicators on the returns. You need to understand what's going to be happening with the data sets, or whether or not, like I'm saying, is the Z-score, right? Is it just having a bearish reset? Is it having a bullish reset? Is there divergence between returns and price action? Because that's the only divergence. Oh, I muted dude and he left. Well, if you're watching live, buddy, yeah, come on back. It's all good. Plus, you're going to hear a lot of things you have never heard about before. It behooves you to continue to listen, right? Because it's not going to happen overnight. Come into the Discord, you can get the free volatility starter pack, right? We're giving it out free. I'll show you exactly what you're going to get. Let's pop this up here. Ding dong. Load a chart. Let's load that beauty. Got to change the name of it. Right now it still says pro chart. That's because we view you guys as pros. You end up here, you're going to be a pro. Yeah. And so you're going to get our AVP, you're going to get our Pearson correlation. So you can set up different volatility lengths and correlate them to price action. When you get volatility expansion positively correlated, price action is just going to fly to the top. It's just the way it works. All right. You get price action expand negatively correlated, price action is going to dump. Expansion, negatively correlated, another dump. Expansion, let's see. So right here, right after the dump, negatively correlated expansion. Then the correlation breaks right there, contracting volatility. Broke, positively correlated. Price action just floats right down to the next level. Then you get an expansion, positively correlated. The volatility is going to tell you exactly what these data sets are going to do. Just the way it is. The bull div on the 15-minute Bitcoin, right? Look at the ALR. This is the alpha laser returns. This is not price action, right? This is return candles. It's showing you this is the first, second, and third standard deviation, right? And you can see all of these higher lows, lower lows. So you're getting this 15-minute pop on Bitcoin right now off that nice bull div. But at the same time, higher high already. Look at the return, right? This last return candle got to a 1 SD. This one's barely... This is barely grinding. That could be setting up some bear div, right? That's the way it works. Boom, boom. But this is, you'll get the AVQ, which this is freely available on TradingView. But you're going to get our private indicator, the ALR, the AVP, the Pearson correlation. This is all you need to start, right? You need to start recognizing volatility in the breaks and correlation. And this The ALR is going to help you with divergence between price action and returns. Look at this returns candle. That was about a 5th standard deviation move probably. All higher highs, right, on this 15-minute. Look at the returns candle. All higher lows. That is literally telling you, look, with every one of these candles, the return on your investment is diminishing. Take your profit before the algo flips the script and takes it from you. All right? The problem is with people, the way people trade and use leverage as they're moving up, as their position is moving to the top side or the downside, they continue to add leverage. These exchanges are not your friend. Figure it out. We've been talking about this for years. There is some really, really criminal shit going on these exchanges. Now, is it across the board? Who knows? But I'll tell you one thing, we're going to find out because the first domino has fallen. It's going to, if there is other shit going on, it's going to expose it all. Maybe this needed to happen. I'm not going to lie. These crypto markets are so over leveraged, it is ridiculous. There is such an imbalance just on Bitfinex. For God's sakes, you've got 105,663 Bitcoins longed, right? Just been adding on, haven't been going anywhere. This whole down move, just been building from like 50K all the way down. The long's just been piling on, which leads me to believe there's not a lot of leverage there, or these people would already be liquidated, right? Just people sitting in bad positions though, so underwater it's ridiculous. And lately the shorts have grown up to over 7,000. Look at that imbalance. Almost 106,000 long, 7,000 shorted just on Bitfinex. Crazy. Crazy. So, but yeah, this is the chart you're going to get. Come in, get the free volatility starter pack. We're here for you. Bang. Yeah. Shameless plug.
And same goes for anybody else watching us on Discord or YouTube that is not yet familiar with the ways of trading volatility, probability, and statistics. You just saw really what we consider to be the best starter sort of chart and tools that you can use to learn how to trade this way, in our opinion, with the best tools, in our opinion. I mean, obviously we're biased, but we made these tools, the guys that made these tools with us, for us, made them that way for a reason, because we use them to actually trade. We don't just sit around and just stare at the charts for no reason. If we're in front of charts, it's to trade. So, if you want to get on board, just jump on the Discord. It's free, and you can get those tools for free and start learning how to do this.
Yeah, and you can see all these other, this is just a small amount of our indicators. We've got, it's ridiculous. We have a lot. So it gives you the opportunity to put together your own edge using this stuff. But until you get this volatility starter pack and you understand about the 6 different scenarios that go along with volatility expansion, contraction, and the breaks in correlation, right? I'm talking about volatility correlated to price action. Until you start to get a beat on that and the laser returns of the divergence between price action and returns, just pretend like we don't even sell indicators. Because we don't want you just coming in this Discord and being like, there's too many people out there. They just go from one to another buying these different trading systems. Look, in our opinion, we could be your last stop if you give yourself a chance. Study the free stuff. Ask questions in the Discord. Trust me, you'll be shocked. We don't charge for education, right? We don't charge a dime. We'll help anybody. You will see that if you get into the Discord and start asking questions and things. You'll have all kinds of people answering, helping you out. And once you get that figured out, then maybe some way you'll find out, yes, we do have pro trader tools, right, that are very powerful. And you see me using them every day on the live stream. Okay. So when you do get to that point, then open up a support ticket. But right now, we have a hell of a sale going on. I'm pretty sure a yearly subscription is 40% off, which for these tools, ridiculous. Great. It's a great deal. And plus, there's people out there selling indicators, worthless indicators, like standalone. Like, I'm not going to mention any names. A guy likes to wear a mask on screen and sell a shitty freaking, it's literally wave trend in area. It's literally wave trend in an area, right? Instead of just line form, it's an area form with a couple little fancy bells and whistles on it. It's total bullshit indicator, and it's expensive. There's other guys, $300 a month for lagging stochastic indicator, right? Multi-time frame lagging stochastic indicator. It's like $300 a month. Guys, ours are $99 a month, right? And right now you can get that, for God's sakes, for almost half that price for a yearly subscription. It's a great deal. But if you don't understand volatility trading, the basics, you're not going to hear it, right? We're not plugging our stuff. We don't care if you buy it or not. We're here to help you learn. And if it gets to the point where you want the pro tools, we're here for you, right? We're here for you. But you're never going to hear us come on here just, you need to buy these tools right now. Let's do this. Boom, here's our link and blah, blah, blah. Nah, that's not us. We're here for the education. We want to teach people volatility trading. And then if it's something you want to learn, because it's not easy, you want to put some time in, you want to trade up your trading edge, right? Because in our opinion, it is actual an edge. Traditional TA edges are just cliffs. You fall off of a lot. There's nothing...
Yeah, I mean, our edge is actually definable, measurable, and quantifiable in every sense. I mean, we literally, you see the probabilities, and they are exact. They're not wishy-washy. Oh, what if I move the line 2 pixels up, then I'll get a new area where I can use that. No, the math dictates what the actual probabilities and statistics are, and therefore you go by those and not what your subjective bias is. And that's the difference between us and other trading systems. We literally use the same concepts and maths that you get in high frequency trading algorithms, which is why these tools work in the first place, and we feel comfortable doing live streams every day, showing exactly what we're doing, because, well, this is correct. We don't have to backtrack. You'll see there's a ton of people out there who do whatever analysis you want to call it, who are pretty much backtracking and explaining why they went wrong yesterday. Why their stream yesterday went the wrong way. You don't generally see us talking about that, because we don't make calls. We don't predict, oh, this is going to go only this way if this pattern breaks. No, we give, we show the probabilities up and down, and that's based on the math, and there's no bias to it, which is why it's important to always remember the 3 simple rules that we say practically in every stream, which is, you got to learn to limit your loss, take profit, and don't trade with emotional attachments to your position, right? Don't be emotionally attached to your trade. And by doing trading with math-based tools, you can very much see that you don't need to attach yourself emotionally to your position, especially if you learn not to be greedy and to learn how to take profits when assets hit certain target areas like standard deviations or Laplace distributions, which happen to work incredibly well for low time frame volatility trading. And that's what we're all about: trading volatility, entropy, probabilities, and statistics. So yeah, anyway, just figured I'd mention why we think our tools are as good as they are, and why it is that you don't hear us pounding away hours every day making videos to try to sell this stuff. We go over the analysis, we look at the charts, we look at what are the probabilities of assets moving up or down or sideways based on actual math. And you can see all of these charts that Bilbo's been pulling up, like right now, SPY, on his screen all day and all hour. We are not running biases and subjective opinions on our trades. We are just running trades according to probabilities. And it's not about trying to interject your bias into low time frame trades, because that's just foolery.
Okay.
That's a foolish way.
So let's see this. So SPY opens up, right? This is a 9-minute chart. SPY opens up, pre-market gaps down a little bit. Everybody's probably like, oh, bad midterm elections, the macro environment's fucked, blah, blah, blah. Probably think it's just going to dump out immediately. Well, not only do we know where all these volatility ranges are, distribution levels are, where the real support and resistances are. Take this 9-minute, right? So you get the down move. Look at the returns oscillator and look at the RSI. The RSI had a lower low, right? Because this is the relative strength of price action. That was a down move. Oh yeah, well, pretty strong, right? You get a lower low on the RSI. Look at the returns, right? Higher low. Bull divergence between returns and price action. Bull div between returns and price action. Let me see. It's not a big move. Not a big move. About 1% almost. But this is what we do. We scalp low time frame volatility, right? And if you're trying to use indicators like the RSI, you're behind the 8 ball already. This should be, if you're watching this live, right? This should be a wake-up call for you. Where most people are like, oh wait, well let's wait till the RSI crosses our magical little moving average monkey here, whatever it is, and then we'll get in the trade. Where? Right at the top of the fucking scalp? Right? No. You recognize the divergence. Then I saw it. We even had a little mini outlier and stuff. We have a powerful variance indicator, right? Variance is a spread of data around the mean. The standard deviation of returns is volatility. So that spread of data around the mean, that's all it is. It's just volatility of the returns. You know, and when you have an expansion in volatility, when it expands and you get out amongst second, third standard deviation, dude, mean reversion is imminent. That's the way it works. It's all about the probabilities. You get out there at the second standard deviation, there's a 95.4% chance that moves over. You go beyond to the 3SD, there's a 99.7% chance that move is over, and there's going to be mean reversion. That's why I'm looking at Solana here on the weekly reverse mean of log returns. We're at a 2SD band. We've already ranged between the 68.3 to the downside on the weekly candle of Laplace distribution and ran it right up to the first standard deviation normal distribution. Now, if this reverse mean of log returns didn't take such a dive, this is the future projection, I'd say, well, mean reversion, you know, we're going to work our way back up above 20, blah, blah, blah. But this mean really took it down. All this has got to do is open up next week, and it's going to be above the reverse mean of log returns. So we're going to have to see what will happen. But if these markets act favorably, I mean, you could see Solana back up here. Maybe not 95.4 Laplace this week. That's also the first standard deviation band of the reverse mean. So yeah, good stuff. But I wanted to point that out with RSI and returns oscillator. There's so many examples. It's ridiculous of divs being played out over and over and over and over again. Now you drop down even farther on the 6 minute, there wasn't any div on the returns oscillator. That's why. The 6 and the 3 minute is where I'm getting my entries. I'm looking up here, right? This is going to help me get an idea of what's going on with divs. So on this 6 minute and the plus here, let me reload this, get rid of that RSI, making my chart look funny.
Just the concept of RSI. I mean, whatever. I don't want to trash on it or anything, but it's a silly concept.
Silly.
Digital assets don't have strength. They're just little pixels moving up and down.
Yeah.
On the screen.
So
the whole notion.
Wait a minute.
Strength.
They have a shitload of volatility, huh?
What the hell? Where in the hell was that? Read ding dong. God, was I on Bitcoin the whole fucking time? What's happening here? Am I losing my mind? No. Wait a minute. Was that or was I not on the 9 minute? What in the hell is happening here? Why does this chart look totally different? What damn?
Yeah, it's on the US dollar. Yeah.
What data set was I on when I was showing that div? I'm laughing now. I was on Solana, wasn't I?
Different chart, I think.
Okay. Anyway, wherever the hell I was at, because that is moving down.
No, I think you went SPY. You went SPY, bro. You went SPY.
Yep. Sorry, that's why. But anyway, look at Solana right now, setting up some bull div. Guarantee you pull up the RSI, it's probably already at a lower low. That's why you got the returns oscillator trying to turn up, and it's positively correlated. But now it's turned down. It's turning up, turning down. So yeah, this price could slip for sure. Slippy.
Yeah. The entropies are trending move to the downside too. So
yeah, Jay, right? That was on SPY. But just for a good example, that's what I like to show. How different it is when you do have that working in your favor.
Same thing on many other tools. that people unfortunately use. But again, that's why, these tools, I mean, we're looking at all these charts, seeing all this information, and you can see how it's all, when you learn how to read them properly, it's always confluence. The question is, which ones are you picking out for your moves? And is there enough confluence for your edge to be quantitatively worth the risk that you're taking for your position? There is always some kind of confluence. There's always some kind of interplay between the volatility and between the entropy and, between the probability and the statistics, because that's the way the maths work. Is there randomness? You bet. There's a lot of randomness. That's why we can see it right there on the entropy indicator. Literally, we can see when there's randomness. Very powerful tool. Very powerful.
Now I'm going to pop back over. Oh, Dixie actually was up a lot more. It's pulling back. So is VIX. Interesting. So yeah, here's SPY. Right up here. It got up above this daily range. Okay. We talked about it. I mean, this down here, bottom of the weekly, top of the weekly, bottom side of the daily, 68.3 Laplace, and first support level for this daily volatility range. Didn't even get a wick down into it. Immediately came back up. Kind of ranging right now in these 4-hour distribution levels. That's what the real skinny lines are. You can see changing every 4-hour candle. Everything else is dailies.
Is right at the top of the daily range right now.
No. So this will be interesting to see how this day plays out. Say this all the time. All right, you're going to get these little pullbacks in SPY. These are just all little low time frame volatile divergence plays. They always are. Always are. So people don't realize why a data set moves the way it moves. Well, because there's you got to realize there's a lot of trading going on with these high frequency trading firm algorithms, man. It builds a lot of buy and sell pressure imbalances. Then they play out. They play out in real time, and they do it real fast. So when you're able to recognize that, that's what people still don't get. A lot of people don't understand what we do here, which is fine. You're not gonna at first, right? Because everybody out there is teaching traditional technical analysis. Why? Well, because that's the kind of analysis that creates a lot of liquidity for these big firms. Yeah, you're on the wrong side of it too, by the way. You're on the wrong side of it. That's why most people that trade, especially retail traders, just wreck one account after another, right? That's why I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they're just like, oh no, well, I let my financial advisor, he invests for me and does all this. And I was like, yeah, those are the guys you pretty much want to run from in these times. But anyway, they're afraid. That's what the guy told me. He's like, oh, I'm afraid to trade the market, because I started talking about the markets to him, and we're near a bottom. It's like this is like there could be a massive wealth transfer. But we'll see. We will see what happens. Ding, ding,
yeah.
ding.
And by the way, the 4-hour candle on Bitcoin, if you're looking, well, that's a different chart than the one you're on. But I'm looking at the Bitcoin 4-hour right now on this very candle, which is finishing in the next half hour or so. It had it already ran up to the 3 SD RMLRs for both of them, both legs I look at, the 3012 and the 1110, and came right back down to the mean. Same candle. Like this morning, it closed the mean reversion from the downside, and it spiked down to another one, and then 2 candles later, after popping back up to the mean, it closed, it hit both of them on the top side and pulled back down.
Oof.
I mean, it's remarkably powerful stuff if you know how to read this. It's just incredible. Bitcoin.
Let me see something here real quick. Yeah. Okay. So there's the 11 length right there. Let me turn that back off. This is what's great here.
I have it set on the 30 length power mean.
Okay.
Is, pretty close to what you got there, I think.
Yeah. This is the 30 right here. This one that's on. The one I turned on was the 11. That we literally dumped right to it. We're literally right at it right now. Thing is though, so this move, right on this 4-hour candle, like you said, went up to first standard deviation, normal distribution, bam, on that 4-hour candle. You can literally go over here, throw this on BTC.
Yeah, look at it right there.
Right here.
Perfect.
There's the 4-hour. Didn't close the candle above it. Got a wick above, pulled back down. Right? Wick above, Starts a down move right to where? Top side of daily, 68.3, and the bottom of the weekly. Look where these wicks are going. Liquidity's right here, at least intraday. That's why I always talk about, well, what are we going to do? We're going to close candles above or below? Where's the 68.3 daily? Very interesting. This is usually set up good. When you get a daily range, especially a center above the top side of the 68.3, and you've already cooked through that range, went up even higher, like that 4-hour 1SD, pulled back down, could get interesting. But is what I wanted to show. So it runs the 1SD. Where's it pull back inside to? Look at this data set, man. It cannot close a 4-hour candle right now above this 33 power mean. And you're up here at the 3SD band of the reverse bands. What usually happens? Mean reversion. Woo! We're going to get some new lows if that happens on the 4-hour. But if you turn on the lower length RMLR, we're right on top of that. Look, we're just sandwiched in between the 33 power mean and the 11 length reverse mean of log returns. I know this looks confusing. Once you learn what you're looking at, God, it's a saving grace, man. Can't say it enough.
Yeah, and those lines poking into the future are actually accurate.
Yes.
What they're telling, which is remarkable.
And this goes against a lot of fucking... A lot of people would not agree with this.
Finance is not true, and there's the proof of it right there.
Yeah. Past price action will give you a future projection of the reverse mean of log returns. Now, maybe then we've been trying to figure this out. It's probably because it's the reverse mean of log returns. We're trying to figure something out with the regular mean, but yeah. It's, this stuff, I tell you what, we got a really good math guy. He's grinding, man. He'll figure it out if anybody can. Between him and Donnie, we got a great... These guys are building...
This right here is like amazing. It's like a laser beam into the future. It's amazing.
Yes, it is. The laser beam into the future. But yeah, that being said, kind of wanted to end it on that. Unless you got something more to talk about. So it'll be interesting to see.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Good place to end.
Yeah, it is. Just showing this on the 4 hour.
Somebody has questions they want to ask.
And then we'll get to play out today, and we'll be back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Time for the Tuesday market open. The link to our Discord's in the description of all these videos. Come in, open up a support ticket, request the free volatility starter pack. We even give you a chart. You can literally just save the chart, and it's already set up for you, like you saw. Depending on what level of trading view you have. And I always recommend, hey man, these are tools, right? If you're wanting to be a professional trader, right? So say you're going to be a mason, right? What are you going to show up with? A plastic fucking shovel and a plastic bucket like your kids take to the beach? No, man, you're going to show up with the right tools. No matter what you do for a living, you're going to come in with the right tools to do the job. Well, if you're coming in to trade, the first thing you need is a pro subscription on TradingView, in my opinion. You need to be able to populate charts, right? Where you can have a bunch of indicators all working seamlessly together. And then you need to take it serious, right? This is no joke. When you're trying to become a professional intraday trader in these volatile markets, it's going to test all your resolve. You got to give yourself some time to learn it, right? And make sure you have the right tools. And at some point, when this chart starts making sense to you, you can upgrade, right? And we can let you know about these other indicators. You hear us talk about them all the time. But unless you have the base down, it's just never going to click for you. Never going to click. Because things will be happening with volatility or divergence you're not recognizing. And you're going to make plays off under indicators and not realize that we have all these correlations for a reason. Right? Just like, this returns oscillator's turned down, but the positive correlation's growing, telling you, be careful. Price action might not follow this returns oscillator move. Although it is, right? It is. But we'll see. I don't know, man. Just looking at this VRE, where it's at, where the daily and the weekly volatility range, everything's set up. I mean, this is not looking too damn bad. Although BTC, first target like 17,650. Got to get up here. If it's not today, the next couple days. Start closing some candles, progressing into this week. If this data set is going to move higher at all, at some point you're going to have to start closing candles above 18.3. then maybe it has a chance to go back to 20. We'll see. We'll see. But we are. I mean, we've got 2 weeks left in the month. So these next 2 weeks are going to be pretty crazy. But yeah, all that being said, I want to thank everybody for watching live on YouTube, live in the Discord, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Alpha Trading out.
See ya. Happy trading.
Thank you.